This episode is brought to you by Cisco. Stay tuned as later we'll be talking to Craig Neiberding, the CIO at Canberra Institute of Technology, and Reg Johnson, Director of Education and Strategic Industries for Cisco Australia and New Zealand. We'll be exploring how CIT's new Woden campus is reshaping hybrid learning and what the rest of the education sector can learn from it. Hello and welcome to the iTnews podcast. Our guest this fortnight is Kate Collareda, the current CIO of Mars and former IT Director for ANZ at Kellanova, which Mars completed its acquisition of at the end of last year. Kellanova, among other things, is home to Kellogg's international cereal brands. Kate spoke to the iTnews podcast about a trade promotion system that Kellanova implemented to help it run promotions across the major supermarket chains. We begin by discussing the changing behaviour of consumers, how this shaped the need for a newer and more data-driven approach to trade promotions, and how the outputs of the system can influence broader operational levers.
For the last 20 or 30 years, consumer behaviour has been pretty consistent. You're either a Woolworths shopper or a Coles shopper. Now things are really different. There's a lot of change in behaviour right now. There's things like convenience and on the go, which is really big in the grocery stores. You also got the cost of living pressures, so that right now is a real concern for us. None of that stuff is brand new. Definitely we've had GFC and all sorts of things in the past. But it's kind of like this boiling point where shoppers are shopping around all the time. So people are going to the Aldi now, doing part of their grocery shopping there. Then they'll go to Woolworths because it's got whatever they want on special and they're stocking up. We've got people going to IGA for things. They're going to their local farmers market. They're doing different things, all because of cost of living.
Do you want to just talk about running trade promotions across the supermarket chains?
We have trading terms with all of our customers, whether that's petrol and convenience or the major supermarkets. We have in-store shopper promotions as well, which we come up with an annual plan by customer, and we plan out each of those weeks in terms of what promotions we're going to have on when. In Australia, we sell the largest amount of products on promotion in consumer goods. It's pretty complicated in terms of when we run a promotion, there's a lot of claims and deductions and things like that that we need to then process against with each of the customers. In order to make sure that those promotions get executed as well as possible, you need to manage what's the plan going to look like for the year, what's it look like in store, what is our marketing plans to support it. It's a good promo if we're able to get the product where we need it. Consumer likes the value of it and we make some money, and so does our customers. This is the promo sweet spot. Essentially what we're really trying to get to is a good understanding of what our demand will look like. So as you run a promotion, maybe we've got 10,000 more tons of cornflakes that we've got to manufacture. So getting that understanding of what are the peaks and troughs through the year that we can then make sure that our supply team knows about that and can make sure that the product's out there. Getting the product where it needs to be, right time, right place, all of that side of things. We want it to be good value for the consumer. Sometimes you'll go in the grocery store and see a special sign, but it's like $1 off. People want the 2 for 1 or 50% off. So making sure that the consumer's actually going to pick it up. So we're investing trade dollars behind it. And then also with this win-win relationship you try and have with the retailer, whether it's your local IGA store or Coles, they need to make money from it and we need to make money from it.
I feel like Kellogg's and Kellanova would have had some insight previously prior to this whole thing around what campaigns worked, what didn't, what combinations would have worked, and into consumer behaviour.
The way we managed ROI analysis in the past would have been in an offline spreadsheet. We were living in and out of Excel. There were so many manual changes. Really, we wanted to get better visibility on our trade spend, increase the ROI on that, get better forecasting, and be able to scenario plan. We were looking for a new trade promotion system. There was a regionally set standard, and we pushed back on that, saying Australia is very different to the rest of the region. That was how we ended up selecting Salesforce. So basically what the TPM tool or trade promotion tool does is it helps us to plan, execute, and then come back and do that evaluation on what worked, what didn't work, what do we tweak for the future. We want to get better every year. And that's where we start to see the opportunity with some things like AI. How we see AI coming in is it would do that analysis for us and build the plan from scratch versus us taking what we know, making minor tweaks. We really think the engine for us us is that opportunity to give us a best-in-class plan. We know all our customer relationships and all that, so it still gives the sales team opportunity to tweak it, but giving more insight into it versus all the stuff that's in people's heads.
So do you want to just explain, I guess, the interaction between Salesforce and perhaps other systems that are also involved in trade and merchandising? Is it everything in the one Salesforce system, or is there other systems that are feeding data in and out of this system to make this happen?
Yeah, other systems. Some of why we selected Salesforce was because it integrated the back office planning with the feet on the floor in the store with the sales team that are out executing. So one solution, everybody kind of sees the same plan and we can execute against the plan. The trade plan would get built and the customer plans, but then that budget would then flow into our SAP system. And then likewise, if we approve a promotion that would sort of spike the number of cases that we would need, that data flows into our supply planning system. So then the supply teams can manufacture whatever we need.
So how is the tool used?
While it is a sales tool, it does impact end-to-end across our business. So if we think of our research and development teams, they're the ones coming up with the new product innovation. So the data that comes out of this system will help us to understand what's going on in the supermarket stores, what are our competitors doing in this space, which will then feed into some of their innovation pipeline. From a marketing perspective, it helps us to align whatever marketing dollars we're spending, making sure that we're not spending marketing dollars on some Sana brand when we've got a huge investment on cornflakes. Let's line that stuff up together. The sales helps them kind of manage their customer plans and their forecast for the year. Finance then come in and do that review on our spending, making sure that the budget that we set and the trade dollars we're investing, we're getting that return. The supply, I think I talked about, is making sure that they know that we're not going to be out of stock in stores. And then integrated business planning. So that's our process we run every month where we look at what is our sales demand, what's our supply, what is our actual financial, where are we landing? This is our end-to-end vision. So this project we're talking about is this TPM here. The TPM is all the customer plans, and then the retail execution is for our consumers that eat our products and how it happens in store. And then way up the front, we have a revenue growth management team. And essentially what we're trying to drive to is this single pane of glass across it all for no matter where you sit, up front, back office planning, or you're in the store. Now it's one system to manage the entire piece for us. We have this whole real-time visibility to our P&L now. So if we build up a promotion, we will know straight away what that'll cost us and how does that impact our total P&L. It used to take us 2 weeks to get visibility to that before. And likewise, to create a promotion, it would take us 2 weeks, and we can do it in a matter of minutes now. And processing of claims would take 5 minutes for one claim. Now we can process 500 claims in 5 minutes. So lots of real-time efficiency gains.
Are the actual skills for the Salesforce administration, are they internally based?
No, we have a support partner that we use. We brought them on since we went live because we're the first ones doing Salesforce. So we had to find a vendor partner to support us through that.
Did they do the build as well?
No, so we partner with Salesforce Professional Services on it. And the reason for that, what we found is Salesforce acquired this product from Accenture. It was called Accenture CAS. They acquired it and then started to put it into their cloud platform. There was a lot of Accenture customers. There wasn't very many people that had come on to the Salesforce TPM solution. So we were one of the first for them as well. So we were like, well, we could go with Accenture or we put Salesforce's feet to the fire and kind of make them deliver it as well and keep up with all their promises.
I'm Matthew Sainsbury with iTnews, and with me today we have Craig Neiberding, the CIO of CIT, and Reg Johnson, the Director of Education and Strategic Industries at Cisco Australia and New Zealand. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Great to be with you.
To start, maybe if I can throw a question to you, Craig, can you give me an overview of how you've worked with Cisco and what that partnership has looked like for CIT?
I believe the difference between a partnership and a vendor is a partner is there with you through the journey, and Cisco, through this partnership, has actually been there through our co-design, working alongside us and the students to design what the future of learning looks like. They helped us change the way their product actually embedded into our eLearn system to make it easier for students. And they've been there throughout to ask the questions, and they've helped our staff actually uplift and learn how to use the product. So they haven't just been there to give us technology in a room of how this is just here's this technology, goodbye. They've been there throughout the whole journey, helping us design what that technology looked like, what the classroom looked like, how we're going to teach our students to use it, how we're going to teach our teachers to use it, and then embedding it into our eLearn system. So it's been a great partnership of give and take.
So CIT recorded over 13,000 hours of digital activity in the first 10 weeks of the initiative. What does that number actually tell you about how staff and students have taken to the new environment? And were there any surprises in how people engaged with the technology?
It showed us that staff and students adopted to the environments incredibly quickly. The technology became part of their everyday teaching and their learning experiences. As a result, we've seen hybrid learning embraced across all campuses.
Inclusivity features like real-time language translation and AI-driven transcription are described as foundational rather than added on. What was the thinking that led CIT to treat accessibility as a design principle rather than a compliance checkbox, and how has that played out in practice?
At CIT, accessibility needed to be part of the everyday learning experience. It's cemented in our CIT values with belonging through respect, equality, and inclusion. So with the tools like live transcription and real-time translation are helping remove barriers in real time, and Cisco enabled us to build that directly into our environments from day one.
And for a TAFE institution that is serving a diverse student population, the stakes around security are very real, but so is the need to keep the experience open and accessible. How do you think about that tension, and what does a secure by design campus actually look like from the inside?
So in education, our stacked campus environments need to stay open, collaborative, but security can't be compromised. That's our core priority, and it's actually now principles piece. We've put security at the forefront, and by using the Cisco technology, we can operate at the right level of protection. For us, secure by design means security is built into the foundations of the design, so students and staff can collaborate confidently without friction and have access to the right resources at the right time.
Thank you very much. Reg, if I can throw a question to you, when we look across the ANZ education sector, what do you see as the most significant opportunities and the most significant resistance points when it comes to AI-driven and immersive learning environments? And how do you think that shift in conversation will occur over the next couple of years?
Yeah, clearly it's moving fast. So the opportunity at a national level for us, and the government came out with a national AI plan late last year, and it identified as capability gaps as one of the things that we needed to address. So how does Australia advance its adoption of AI, and importantly for our competitiveness in the global landscape, and sort of the challenges that we're facing around what AI is presenting, both from an opportunity perspective. Education has this opportunity around the training needs, particularly in the TAFE sector. We've gone from a world where AI has appeared in our education landscape very quickly, and the need to go from training what was, I guess, into agentic AI now, and it moving through next to the physical AI world is presenting challenges just purely at pace it's moving.
And if I may, Reg, I think we're also moving toward a world where the boundary between the classroom and the workplace is becoming generally more fluid, and that's where the hybrid environments actually come in, because they need to upskill the workers of the future and learn on those AI pieces. The skills are changing. So just to add to what Reg was saying, in 2 years, we don't even know what the world's going to look like. It's moving at such a pace. So we've got to have the right technology that supports us to scale and move with it.
Yeah, and I think also with that, clearly the whole education and delivery of learning is getting sort of challenged in terms of having to respond to that and the pace at which things are moving. And it's not just training the sort of future workforce, but clearly there's a need to train and upskill the existing workforce. So that represents a significant opportunity for particularly the TAFE sector, which has traditionally had a very strong relationship with industry and has a good understanding of the industry needs.
Thank you very much, Craig and Reg. Really appreciate your time.
That's the episode for this fortnight. Stay tuned for the next episode. And for all the latest headlines and happenings in Australian technology news, head over to itnews.com.au.